in foster care all my life. I was taken away at 1 and then I was given back to my mom and I stayed until I was like 7 years old. And then they took me away and brought me back home again. And then finally they put me in my foster home where I stayed for 7 years. And when I turned 16, things started to go really, really bad with them, and I decided that if things were going to be so negative, that I would leave my home. And you know, I kind of wanted my foster parents to chase after me and be like, oh, we want you back kind of thing, but they never came for me. They just kind of packed my stuff up and sent it.
I was adopted when I was 6 months old, and I was in 12 different foster homes till I was about 16.
My mom, she abused me, and my dad sexually abused me. Like, my mom physically abused me. So I finally gave up on getting abused, and I just left home.
Yeah, and I used to live at home. But unfortunately, I was like kept smoking marijuana. I bring it into the house, and I didn't listen to my parents and didn't stop, so they kicked me out. So I had to go and find somewhere else to live. And there was a few days where I was just living at a park.
I spent the next 6 months at a guy's house who I really barely knew. I'd only started dating him and ended up getting arrested. And that's when I was given a choice between going to jail or going to the group home. So I picked the group home.
I ended up living in a tent for 2 years. Just had the clothes on my back and the food bank, which lasted me a week at the moment.
But definitely the hardest part was staying at a park, because you can't really sleep very well at a park, and it's kind of creepy. Well, one day it was really cold, and I just didn't even sleep. I just walked around until the next day, and then so I was really tired.
Giving up everything, giving up my family and everybody that I had, to be out on my own was the hardest choice ever.
I left a lot of people behind at the group home that I really, really cared about, because, you know, I know what kind of things happen in those places, and it can be really scary if you don't have, you know, your friends and family around you.
When I realized I was bouncing back and forth from friends' couches to the youth shelter and then back to friends' couches, I just realized I didn't have an actual home. I was homeless, and I needed a home.
You know, homes where you feel most wanted, comfortable, all that kind of stuff. So if you have no home, then you're completely alone.
Homeless, you make yourself seem worthless and everything, but it's really, you just don't have a home, and you need a home.
Don't feel like you're being put in a position where you're taking from people who are less fortunate, because that's why those services are there to help you. You can't feel like you're going to be judged when you walk up to the food bank, or you're going to be judged if you go to a mental health service in Kingston. You have to realize that these are normal things that normal people need, just you can't get it in the same way as other people. So you have to take those ideas of, oh, I'm taking from somebody less fortunate, and push them away, because that's not true.
And I'm glad I'm now out on my own doing things like working and things like that. It's great.
I work for Ken Kelly's Towing, and I do the odd job for Black Lock's car dealership whenever I get called in.
My dream is to get culinary school over with and start traveling with cruise line or something crazy like that. Do something exciting. I want to travel and see all the world while doing something that I love.
I want to go to Europe and also want to go to Japan.
There is help available, you just gotta find it.
Your attitude is definitely part of it. So if you have a negative attitude towards it, then it'll make it a worse time. So you want to have a positive attitude all the time.
Keep your head up. Don't give up.
You can see your true friends and family when something bad happens in your life, but it's not always, it's maybe a bad day, but it's not a bad life. You can change who you are just by simply realizing who you want to be.